Don't come to me trying to put new expectations on me because I finally got the paper that validates the work that I've done for decades. I earned this shit. Nobody give this to me. I worked my ass off. Nobody can question that. Nobody can question my work ethic and what I accomplished and the muck and mire that I had to endure to climb this ladder and get to where I got. We're sitting up here as black people constantly talking about how we want our just due and we want what we've earned and we want what we deserve. And then a brother come along and do it and now you want to sit up there and place new expectations because I'm the one that made it. Fuck that. That's not right. I'm doing what I've always done. I didn't change.
Yo, what's good with it? What's poppin'? What it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be, what it would be. Cam Newsom, Mr. Boogie the All here with another episode of Funky Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, I promise, I really do promise, to give good content for the masses, but most of all, ladies and gentlemen, I promise to keep it funky. Woo! I don't know the artist, but I know the song, and it went a little like this. It's been a long time coming, and I know it ain't changed, but I finally got the time.
Curtis Mayfield?
Curtis Mayfield. Appreciate it. You heard the voice. Huh? He's a journalist. Huh? He's an author, a columnist, occasional soap opera star. Arguably one of the most, if not the most polarizing man in sports media. He's a brother. He's a son, an uncle. Most importantly, he's a girl dad. And my OG. I present to some and introduce to others. Stephen Anthony, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! He said, my man, how we doing?
I'm good, man. You got me here smoking a cigar. Got to make sure people know this ain't weed.
Looking at stay off the weed.
Yes.
Bro, it's almost like so many emotions are going through my mind right now because there's so much that I want to cover.
I'm here for it.
And I appreciate you taking the time because it has been a long time. But we're here now. Given the circumstances of the most recent event, let's talk about the interview of Jason Whitlock.
Okay.
A lot of times people, they wanted to make this an issue. Where did you stand when you first saw and what was going through your mind?
I had no issue with you sitting down with him. You wanted to sit down with him to discuss you and him. This is your podcast. You own it. Obviously, it was going to be a riveting discussion that was going to be beneficial to you and what you're trying to build. And I'm a supporter of yours. And so because of that, I had no issue with it whatsoever in regards to that conversation. My issue with you and Peggy, where he at? There he is. There he is.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Was one thing and one thing only. If you're gonna ask about me, ask. Like, to let somebody go on and just talk shit and don't have no facts, don't know what they talking about, and to just let them go on, that was the only issue that I had, nothing else. In other words, you know, you talking about me and it's your girl that she did that.
That's a fine right there. That's a big fine. Well, go ahead.
The issue for me was that he talking about what I did when I was in college. That was 1988. That's 38 years ago. He's talking about what my upbringing was like. That was over 40 years ago. Where the hell was he? How did he know? And to me, it's that simple stuff like, where you getting this from? How would you know? Questions like that should have been asked. I'm not here to tell you, Peggy, or anything like that, because I got love for y'all. Ain't no biggie. But I was just saying, if you're gonna let somebody, if you're gonna ask about me, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, because I've seen you and Peggy, I think y'all do a great job. Yes. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have love and respect for you, to be quite honest with you. You know that. But if you're gonna ask a question about me, I wasn't down with, you know, like everybody like, yo, man, you know, he brought this cat on this platform. That's your platform. You're trying to build it. All I'm saying is that I know I'm different because I'm a journalist. I'm not a former star athlete like yourself. So I get it. But my thing is that there is no one that can come on any platform that I have and just talk about you, Peggy, or anybody else in that light, and I ain't grilling them.
So
that was it. That was all.
To be honest, in that moment in time, what was crazy, and I'm pretty sure Peggy could second this,
Sure.
Our sole intent was the fact that he was personal with me.
I got you.
And instead of making threats and saying, man, I hope I see you out, because he tried to change it or change the narrative as if to say I wanted to do bodily harm to him. I was just like, bro, I want to talk. So
No,
I was expecting.
You wanted a few though, but you understand that.
Yeah.
You want a few. You got other people that want to do harm to him.
No, for sure.
Right. That's not me. He's not worth it.
I
But it's
understand.
a lot of people.
So in that term, I can't, even for those few who may feel like me or disagree and want to do bodily, it's not worth it to the degree of what could be lost, because it's a lawsuit that's waiting to happen. It just gives the whole circumstance of, for me, I wanted to talk it out. I wanted to honestly see where he was in regards to how his outlook with me. He's spoken time and time again about my father.
Right.
He said certain things about my relationships.
Right.
And that's what the sole purpose was. It was never to just say, okay, talk to me about Steve. What got clipped was that.
Right.
And we spoke, as a matter of fact, between RJ and Omari, Peggy.
Yeah.
They were the main reasons. Was like, hold on, bro. You can't burn bridges. This ain't the locker room no more. And I'm learning that by the day.
Right.
With the help of yourself and my counsel. It could come from anybody. Obviously, John A. has talked to me at length just about certain things and how to go about it. I'm learning, and I'm not too proud to admit when I make a mistake. So during that, they were like, yo, bro, you gotta reach out to Stephen A. Have you talked to him? At that point in time, I did not.
Right.
So I wanted to make it a point of emphasis that, contrary to what anybody may believe, I reached out to you.
7 in the morning.
Listen,
7 in the morning.
when you get that call,
Right.
or when it's on your heart, it was on my heart.
Right.
And I knew it was like, yo, dog, like this is something that I want to make sure that we on good terms. And after talking with you, not only did I feel support, but I also felt like, hey, you held me accountable. And that's what I appreciate the most. There's so much, and we're going to get to this later, but there's so many people and so much that you've done for so many others that you do not get credit for. And for me during that time, like you said, I'm trying to grow my platform in a way at a rate that, is it on pace? Are we out of pace? Are we doing the things our way? I believe we are. There was a lot that came with that. One of those being one of our colleagues, Ron Clark.
Okay.
And his situation was a little different because he texted me saying how he felt. I said, bro, respectfully, I can understand how you may feel. But I think it was a little contradicting in I just didn't feel that same energy when 7 p.m. in Brooklyn situation with Carmelo and LeBron.
Okay.
So now for me
I don't understand what you mean by that. I'm sorry.
So, all right, there's an affiliation or a connection between Carmelo and Steve and LeBron.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yeah.
That energy that was given to me with how you gonna do this, this is outside of Ryan Clark. I'm just talking about the banter that I've gotten.
Got it.
How you gonna do that to Stephen A? He's a person that, in large part, got you to ESPN. How you have the ops, how you have the person who you know had bad intent. And I'm like, well, I get in the middle of the thing, rightfully so. But even for Carmelo and his platform, when that went down with those type of discussions, it was just a mixed bag for me.
Right.
So when I was talking to Ryan, I'm like, bro, like, what is not going to happen you can't tell me how to run my operation.
Right.
At no shape, form was my intent to defame, to bring any type of misfortune.
Well, see, that's a delicate situation. Let me explain. I never once questioned your intent. Mm-hmm. Not one time, not for 1 second. And I didn't say anything to you just now or on the phone that I didn't tell Ryan.
For sure.
But Ryan's a special brother, man. Because it's not just about principle, he operates with his heart. And you have to understand that you and Ryan have cultivated your own relationship. I've seen y'all, that's y'all business, but I've seen y'all talk in the past and talk privately. Before you come on First Take, after you come on First Take, y'all in the room by yourself, I leave y'all be, handle y'all business, blah, blah, blah. Ryan is one of the greatest brothers I've ever met in my life. He got a heart of gold. And who he rocks with. And he doesn't have a phony cell in his body. He can't do it. Mm. And he's gonna speak from the heart. And I think that the part that, if I may say this, that I think you're missing about where he was coming from is that Ryan might have used that as an example, but he watched the interview. Mm-hmm. And so as he's picking apart some of the things that you said, which we could talk about, it might have rubbed him the wrong way.
Okay.
When I went on my podcast, I got on you about two things. Right. One is you and Peggy know how to ask questions. No matter how much you learning, you're not giving yourself enough credit for what you know. You're also not giving yourself credit for the core decency that is Cam. Like, you a good brother. You ain't trying to hurt nobody.
No, sir.
You trying to live your life. You trying to be as successful as you possibly could be. You trying to make this shit rock. You trying to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of doing that, you gonna venture out and do what you think works for the business. Yeah, because you saying this is the business, et cetera, et cetera. I get it.
Right.
But then there's other things that you said. Like, for example, you looked at Peggy, you looked to your left, and you like, ain't no loyalty in this business. And I'm like this. Oh, fuck no. There's loyalty in every business. Now, that doesn't mean that I believe that you were disloyal to me. I want to be very, very clear. I never took it that way. What I'm saying is your words carry the kind of weight coming from you because superstar athlete, #1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, in locker rooms, vibing with cats. You can go to in any hood in America and you're gonna resonate in ways that most can't.
Yes, sir.
So because of that, when you talking with cats, it's like, I don't care who it is. Everybody understands there's loyalty in something. And if you say that, then all of a sudden, that's when I said, wait a minute now. No, Cam, you're wrong on that one. Forget me. Forget the subject matter. Forget you talking to him, meaning Whitlock or whomever. The principle of loyalty, it doesn't mean that you're going to do something that everybody thinks you should do, that you ain't going to do it the Cam way, that you ain't going to rock the way you rock. That's not what I'm saying. But when you make a generic statement like that, cats have a hard time relating to that because that's not a principle we follow. So if somebody comes, there's a litany of facts, hypothetically speaking, that they could come and they could say, Cam this, that, and the third. And I gotta humble myself to listen to their facts. When they start getting personal and they in attack mode, I'm like, hold up, what you doing? And if I'm sitting there looking at the business and I'm saying this is how it goes, then I'm saying the business usurps my principles. The business usurps my code. The business usurps what I stand on. That's not the Cam we know. It's not the Peggy we know. It's not the Stephen A we know. That's not the Ryan we know, Ryan Clark. So when you said what you said, in his mind, and I don't want to speak for him because I really didn't go that in depth with him about it, But I'm imagining the private conversations that y'all two had.
We did, and we had conversations.
And you've had numerous conversations, because I've seen it. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell that's the Cam he thought he was talking to that said that. He's thinking, nah, what you mean? Because there's an expectation that comes with it that he rock with you, he work with you, y'all work for the same company, you contributors to First Take, you doing what you're doing, y'all, you know, you vibe with one another and the whole shit. He's not expecting to turn around and see something different than the person he was rapping to.
Yeah, but I think he was coming at me with asking why him.
Meaning why Whitlock on your show?
Why Whitlock on my show?
Sure, but a lot of people feel that. I didn't feel that way, but he did feel that way along with others. Yeah.
But I understand that. Because I did say, you've publicly apologized for something that you still may stand on.
Right.
But because of, if you didn't do it, you'll be standing over here or standing over there out of the way. So I'm like, bro, that may have gotten taken out of context, but my loyalty thing was, yo, I know it'd be hard for somebody to remove me from Funky Friday. It'd be hard for somebody to remove me and Peggy from Fourth and One.
Right.
It'd be hard to do that. That's what I'm saying. There's no loyalty in regards to control. My thing was intent.
Right.
My loyalty obviously goes to what benefits me.
Got it.
You have allowed me the opportunity to broaden my platform by having me on.
Okay.
I'll never forget. Conversation happened last year. You called, you said, bro, right now, you're on one day, but I'll give you an opportunity to come on two. I'm gonna leave it in your decision. But you hung up. I'll call you back later.
Yep.
Those conversations far exceed what others may see of Stephen A.
Right.
So my personal relationship, there always will be a measure of loyalty to you because the appreciation that I have. There's an appreciation that I have for RC. There's an appreciation that I have for Dion, for Shannon Sharp. These are all brothers that I look up to. I've said that to him. But where I kind of was like, hold on, you're taking my intent out of the wrong place. Because for me, I appreciate you for even acknowledging that, hey, dog, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. I appreciate that more far than what he ever would understand.
Right.
I just think for me and the platform of Fourth and One, it's always to bring awareness to certain situations. There's a lot of things that Jason Whitlock mentioned. Not just about me, not just about you, about a slew of people.
Yeah, that's what he does.
And that's his strategy. So for me, it was trying to give a platform to be like, okay, bro, what you gonna do? Barbecue or mildew?
But you're getting into the minutia. I'm saying to you, from the perspective of Orion or anybody who thought like he thought, I tell you right now, I told Ryan I didn't hold the same belief that he had. But I loved him for speaking up for me the way that he did, because that's who he is. And it reminded me of what he stands on. You have to understand you've established what you stand on with us. And there is a level of loyalty that we have for you. And it doesn't just stop with you. Look, man, Shannon Sharp ain't on First Take no more. You really, really think I'm happy about that? I miss that brother. We communicate every month. Every month. Shannon Sharp got over 4 million followers on YouTube with Club Shay Shay. 2 million with Nightcap. Do you know how much my numbers would blow up if I talked about Shannon Sharp? Ain't fucking happening. Fuck the numbers. That's my man. I'm not doing that. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to make sure that I'm clear in saying what I'm saying. I am in no way saying you shouldn't have spoken to Whitlock. I don't care if anybody can talk to Whitlock all they want to. All I'm saying is that if you're gonna bring up my name, ask those questions.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Okay.
Nothing else. Nothing else. But from the general principle perspective, I got a whole bunch of students here. My man Shabazz, my man Champ, my man Money Mark, Cardell, Rashawn, the whole crew. I got cats, my sister Sumatra, my man Juvie, you know all that stuff. There's certain shit that ain't happening when it come to them. And a host of other boys that couldn't get down here that wanted to be here for this. Because those are my peeps. It's not happening. And so that's the cloth Ryan is made of. That's where he's coming from. And he probably felt that it was inconsistent with what he knows you to be based on the conversations that y'all had and however the communication was.
I just want to interject real quick. Because for right there, to you, to everybody that's sitting here and the millions that will watch, I did not know the fabrication or to add, well, how would you know? It never dawned on me to say, hey, hold on, well, how did you know he was lying about hitting 17 straight? Like,
where's my man Peggy at? Because I want to look at him when I'm seeing this shit too. Get over here, bro. I want to see you. I want to see you when I'm talking because I want to look in one direction. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Let me give you an example, okay? First of all, I had a shitty college career. Let's get that out the way. Cracked my kneecap in half pretty much as soon as I got there, it was over. I said on countless occasions, I had 17 straight three-pointers. I never did it before. I never did it since. I mean, damn. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? Clearly, I didn't have, I'm in the Hall of Fame for the CIAA. It clearly isn't because of basketball, because of my academics. It's because of what I've accomplished. You see what I'm saying? So if you grew up in Indiana or wherever it is that he grew up in, and you talking about what I did in New York 40 years ago, Cam don't have to know the facts to ask, how would you know that? Were you there? What did you see? You know, when you sit up there and say you did his research, yo, bro, why you doing such research? Why you riding him like that? What, y'all, you know, you said you in your 50s, meaning him. You in your mid-50s or whatever. You know, that means we were in the business at the same time. So why I'm where I'm at and you where you are? You want to talk about black people and say, oh, black folks are sitting there, man, we can't fuck with Stephen A. We don't like the politics, and we don't like this, we don't like that. He can't do this, he can't go here. I can go in any hood in America. I travel all the damn time. I don't have to hide in a basement in Nashville or where the fuck he is. I don't have to hide because people want to put me in a body bag. Because you got to have facts. See, when you just attacking people, when you going off, when you Michael B. Jordan wins an Oscar and you gonna call it a DEI Oscar. When you sit up there and you go at Matt Barnes, but you put on a white face. When you sit up there and Ozzie Fudd just sits up there and becomes the #1 overall pick for the WNBA, but you gonna put some shit on social media talking about that ain't about her deserving to be the #1 pick. That's about her and Paige Beckett and say some shit. It's stuff that crossed the line. That's why he hides, because he got to watch out in public because people want him. Now, I wouldn't do that. I'm a law-abiding citizen. On top of it all, I got too much to lose. And number 3, he ain't worth it. But the point that I'm making to you is that you don't have to know all the facts to know how to question somebody that's pretending they got facts when it is impossible, like literally impossible to have it. Why did I go on my podcast and go off? Why am I willing to sit up there and even broach the subject of him? He mentioned that a professor of mine wasn't really a professor, who's like a mother to me, who's in her 70s, dog. Retired, ain't bothering nothing, don't even know who he is. You willing to go there. He brought up my boy, Spank, my man Gary Stevens. Talked about him like he's supposed to be something, but he wasn't. How you know that? You don't know. So I'm like, when you see somebody that's doing this and then hiding behind God and using the Bible literally to justify every evil, maniacal, salacious piece of garbage that he spews, I'm saying to you and your man, who I respect, by the way, you know that, yo, these are basic questions. So when you say you don't know, this is the Cam I know. Decent brother, good brother. Been through a lot, doing a lot. Does a lot for a lot of people. Got a lot of love in your heart. Light up rooms wherever you go. One of the things I rave about when I talk to the bosses about you on First Take, I say, I don't even want to do a road show. My man Rashawn McDonald's is sitting right here next to me, right? Love him to death. I tell him flat out, he's like, Stephen A., you this, you that, you could do this, you could do that. And I go like this on the road. It's gotten to a point, Cam, I don't even want to go on the road without you. I don't want to do a road show. It's First Take, it's me, it's what I do. And if I'm on the road and I'm without Cam, I'm like, oh, shit, I got to hold it down. I don't need to do that when you're there because you walk into a place and it's Superman all over again. I was mad as hell when Carolina Panthers had the playoff game and you came out there, you banged that drum, and I was mad as hell because I wanted to be there for you. I was mad as hell when you got your jersey retired at Auburn because I wanted to be there for you because that's what you have done for me on First Take when we go on the road. So I literally, you could ask my assistant and everybody, I couldn't make it. I was like, damn, because I wanted to surprise you and roll up to Auburn when your jersey was retired. Just because all I wanted you to do was turn around and see my man Stephen A. there. He here just for me. Because what the hell do I want to go to an Auburn football game for? No disrespect. They ain't what they used to be when you were there. You understand what I'm saying? They the other team in Alabama. Let's be real, okay? But I wanted to be there for you. So what I'm saying to you is that there's a lot about you that's far more positive and far more valuable than even you realize. And I'm saying to you, when stuff like that happens, I knew what your intent was. I wasn't worried about that. I only had one issue, and that was that you didn't ask the question because there was nothing that he said that he could definitively prove. Nothing. Oh, it's an HBCU. Well, they ain't giving no scholarship, blah, blah, blah. Well, how I pay for college? How? I was poor. My mother couldn't afford it. How I get to college? How did I get a degree? How did I get a degree without paying a dime? What did I do? Somehow, some way, it's like I'm an honorary doctorate. I have an honorary doctorate from Winston-Salem. I'm in the CIAA Hall of Fame. What I do, make it up? I'm down here because HBCUs are honoring me tomorrow. The news just came out. I'm being inducted into the Hall of Fame. What I make up? So he's talking. I have facts on my side, and I have a resume that he can't touch. This is life. And the only place he found comfortable, other than that bloated ass chair he sits in, is when he came here, or when he talked. He didn't come here, he was on the video. But I'm saying when he was on the show. And I'm saying, cool, I got it. But in the same breath, whereas most instances, 99% of the time, I don't address it. With him, I was like, no, I'm gonna make a special occasion, because it's not because of me. It's because of an army of people in our industry that he has done incredible freaking damage. You don't know about him going to the bosses and volunteering to attack all of us. You don't know about how many people he tried to get fired. You don't know about how many people he tried to call incompetent in this industry and how many careers he has tried to ruin just because he ain't them. So finally, I did one podcast without belaboring it, because I ain't come here to talk about him all night, but I ain't running from it. I had to do something to just say, on behalf of the industry, we know what he's done. And I'll end it by saying this. I challenge you or anybody in our industry to walk around this industry piece by piece, individual by individual, black person, you understand, women, men, whatever. Ask one of them to say, was Stephen A. wrong? One. I'll give you a month's check. One. There's no, damn right. There is no one that will tell you I'm wrong. he talked about he did research. I got files. Am I lying, Rashawn? Am I lying, Solange? Am I lying? I got files of the shit that motherfucker has done. That's what I'm talking about. It's not about his truth. It's about real truth. And it's about a level of evilness and viciousness coupled with lies and despicable stuff that he proves over and over again. And ultimately, I just said, yo, we had the same amount of time in this career. Look at his career and look at mine. There's levels to this shit. Yeah. And he is nowhere near. So I guess I made that up too, huh? Good luck with that.
So it's undeniable, like I said, the appreciation that I've had for you. So much so that even with talking to him, they know how to filter certain things.
Sure.
Not only has that kind of been something that when you Google Stephen A. Smith, beef with, that with,
that's YouTube though. This person got destroyed. There's a beef.
Yeah.
You know, it's clickbait. I know the difference.
But one thing that's not though, and it's real, dare I say, tension, but you and Matt Barnes.
Right. No tension. Zero. Now,
okay.
When he first made the video, that was a shocker to me. I rock with Matt Barnes. Yes. That's my dog. I got love for him. He's a brilliant brother that's done big things, and he's gonna continue to do big things. I was completely blindsided, which, by the way, has become this habit. And the reason why I have the people that I have around me is because it's not only that I love and respect them, they contain me. Because you see, when I see my man Cardell in the back, Cardell and I have known each other since we were 2 years old. We grew up in Hollis together.
No way.
2 years old. 2 years old. My man Money Mark that I've known for nearly 25 years. My man Rashawn that I've known for 25 years. Me and my man Shabazz, who I know you know, Shabazz and I go 23 years back. Crazy ass champ over there. That motherfucker crazy now. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. I mean, we go back. Even though he get on my damn nerves, I still love him. We go back over 20 years. Juvie, yeah, he's supposed to be my bodyguard or whatever, but I don't even call him that because he's like my brother. I lost my brother in the car accident in Texas in '92. So brotherhood means something to me because I miss my brother, you know? And I know what he meant to me and what he believes in me. So it means the world to me that I got cats in my life that surrounding me and are in my space that I know got love for me. And what I'm saying is that they contain me.
Yeah.
Because you see, even though it's good for business, and God knows nobody brings this up more than Rashawn. Rashawn is about business. So let's not get in the way of the big picture. The shit I tell you, I get it from him. Because this man bugs me about it at least 6 days a week, drives me crazy. Because anybody that knows me know, my default position and inclination is to attack. I have to be mentally and emotionally restrained from attacking. Cardell is at work, driving a truck from here to Florida or whatever, motherfucker on the road, talking to me. Look, don't say nothing. You don't need to do that. It's a waste of time. I'm like, I'm getting sick of y'all. You understand what I'm saying? I'm getting sick of everybody trying to contain me. Like these cats talking shit about me for weeks and months at a time, and I say nothing, and then the second I say something, I'm a bad guy. It's a beef. And I'm like, what beef? I didn't say anything for 6 months. All these times, I give you a perfect example. I don't mean to bring them up, but I don't mind because I will always have a soft spot in my heart for a guy like Kwame Brown because I know I victimized him. I'm covering basketball, bro. I know what I saw. I didn't know that when I'm going off about it, it's gonna still be a meme 17 years later. I didn't know that. So to see people rehashing old stuff from 2007 or 2005 or 2004, I feel bad. I don't want to do that. So when he spews his hatred at me, I get it. I say nothing. But the one time I did, bro, I can't tell you who, because they don't want their names mentioned, but they were all Hall of Famers. All Hall of Famers or present superstars. Nah, Stephen A., nah, you can't do that. Nah, Stephen A., don't go at him like that. I'm like, the motherfucker was crucifying me for 6 weeks. Where were y'all? And they say, nah, but you. And they let me know that they hold me to a different standard. And truth be told, Cam, if you really, really think about it, and you are completely honest, somebody talking shit about you, it may mean nothing to you. If I did it, it might hurt you, because you expect more from me. You look at me differently than you might look at the typical cat. And because of that, there's an expectation that comes with it. I'm saying that's applicable to all of us. When you cultivate relationships and you get to know somebody, there's an expectation that comes with that. Matt Barnes is somebody I consider to be brilliant. Mm-hmm. You want all the smoke and you go off your podcast. And because I said something about LeBron's comments about Memphis, I didn't disrespect him, I didn't denigrate him, I just said, yo, it's 63.5% black. NBA team leaves Memphis, what's that gonna do for the local economy? You can't be on a golf course with a bunch of white boys flippantly talking about how they need to lose their team and it needs to move to Nashville. That'll have a very devastating effect on the local economy. And you gotta be sensitive to that. And that was an excuse for Matt Barnes to bring up Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett, or former Vice President Kamala Harris, or Serena Williams. Like, what? Really? So I'm looking at it, and then you gonna utter the word tap dancing when it come to me? I work in corporate America. Fine. I've been blessed and fortunate to venture out. What did I tell you? Ask Shannon what I told him. Ask RC what I told them. Y'all are in blessed positions because y'all were athletes at the highest level who generated a source of revenue for yourself that came attached with a level of independence that networks don't have to attach to you, and as a result, they can't handcuff you. I was a journalist. I walked into the industry handcuffed. Do you know that if this interview had occurred last April of 2025, instead of April from 2026, I would not have been able to sit here with you without ESPN's permission? I'm 58. I was 57. We didn't have that freedom. You sign on, you're an employee. You are subjected to employee rights. You got all types of morals clauses and all of this other stuff that came with it. Anything that they deduced was harmful and detrimental to the brand could cost you your job.
Because if there's something that you said or do that they're not aligned with, you're
well, it's not so much that they align with, but ultimately they're deducing what is detrimental and harmful to their brand.
Correct.
As an employee across the board, no matter what industry you're in, most people other than athletes have to deal with that. Why do you think they resent y'all so much? You ever wonder why people are looking at athletes and they got this attitude, y'all unappreciative, you take this for granted, y'all always are leaning on the money. Oh, people out there are jealous because they gotta work a 9 to 5 and they don't make the money that we make. That's true, but that's not the only reason. The other reason is the freedom you have. Because as an athlete, there's a level of independence that you get to exercise in your case and Shannon and others outside of the NFL, where once the season's over, you could go out there and you could do your thing. And you're not strapped and handcuffed the way an employee is. And so because of that, it's easier for y'all to venture out and take chances. I wasn't allowed to. I'm going to repeat. I never had this freedom until last May. Until last May, if I wanted to do this interview, I had to call ESPN and say, I would like to do a sit down with Cam Newton. May I do it? That's most people in the industry. Having said that, all these years, y'all look at me. Y'all see me, you see clips, you see footage, you see me going off, you see me holding people accountable, you see me fighting the system, right? Mm-hmm. I did that as an employee. I did it anyway. Fuck that. I'm not gonna be quiet about this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that. And battled and battled and battled for decades. And somebody gonna come to me and talk about I'm selling out? Really?
Do you think that there's an unrealistic expectation that the culture holds you to? And is it realistic to?
It's not so much that it's unrealistic. I'm gonna use the words conveniently misinformed. You could find out if you wanted to. You don't want to because it's easy to hit me. Never forget, happened a couple years ago. Steven Jackson, Stags. Russell Westbrook is roughhousing Luka Doncic in the playoffs. I'm doing NBA Countdown. I said, yo, man, they need to suspend his ass for a game.
Russell Westbrook.
And I got love for Russell Westbrook. I don't talk to them that much, all that other stuff, but I got love for him. Always respected him because he's a real one. He got a phony bone in his body. And the stuff that he does in the community for his people is immeasurable. People don't even understand how legit Russell Westbrook is. He's a special dude. But I thought that when that series, he was, my man Champion, I was talking about it, he was like, yo. I said, it's excessive. So what happened is, the NBA elected not to suspend him. I go on the air a couple of days later and I said, I spoke to the league to find out why they didn't suspend him. And this is what they said. Gilly, for Wallow and Gilly, who I also got love for, I can't believe Stephen A. called the league. And
that sounds about right.
Yeah, and I'm like this. And I'm going like this. Respectfully, bro, you talk about the league. I cover it. We were the pre-game show for the Clippers Dallas Mavericks game. The bosses said, call the league office and find out why they didn't suspend him, because had that been Draymond Green, we would have suspended him. Mm-hmm. They would have suspended him. Find out why they didn't suspend him. So he's sitting up there and talking that stuff. So I text him. And I said, yo, man, I just want you to know, I'm not going to go at you, got respect for you, but you need to understand this is how it went down. Because I wasn't calling the league to get him suspended. I had already said on the air he should have been suspended for a game. I was calling the league to find out why didn't you suspend him, because the bosses told me to find out. That's the difference between somebody who's talking and somebody who's actually working as a journalist. I'm not them. I'm not you. I'm not Shannon. I'm not Ryan. I am a professional journalist. Mm-hmm. So let's look at it. I go on the air and I said, you talked about it. I was on the phone with Joe Dumars, who was the executive VP and the disciplinary czar for the NBA. How come this happened? And then after that, I was on the phone with the commissioner, Adam Silver. Were they? No, you were not. They were talking to me because I covered the league. And then we get into resume. New York Daily News, Philadelphia Inquirer, promoted numerous times. March 2003, I'm named the general sports columnist. General sports columnist is the highest title you can get in sports journalism in the newspaper industry. It's the highest title. You have a license to editorialize and give your opinion. We can't relate to that now because everybody could give their opinion. I was coming up when there was no podcast. Right. There was no YouTube. And in order for you to have a license to give your opinion, you had to work yourself through the terrain as a beat writer. and a reporter and climbed the charts before you became a general sports columnist. Do you know that in March of 2003, according to the NABJ, because I never double-checked whether it was true or not, but according to the NABJ, I was the 21st African-American in this nation's history to be named a general sports columnist. Only 20 people came before me.
Ever
In American history. Whitlock was one of them. J.A. Adonde was another. Michael Wilbon was another. William C. Roden was another. Kevin Blackistone was another. So all of this stuff, I'm going like, the credentials are the credentials. So when you got cats coming at me, it's an adjustment because of the world that we live in. But please understand, and I don't say this with any cockiness, I just say it because it's factual. My opinion is earned. Me giving an opinion is me working myself through the industry to elevate myself to a point where I'm licensed to give my opinion by credible agencies. Not just having a YouTube show and I'm free to express myself. So I'm held to a different standard. So when a Matt Barnes comes out and he brings up all of these things, and then he adds the insult that it's tap dancing, I had to show him what tap dancing looked like, which was why I played the Gavin Newsom interview he did. You and Stack sat there for 1 hour and 52 minutes around that time, talking to the governor of California. And in that entire time, you asked one question about the state of California. How can we help people see the truth? When the man sitting in front of you got the highest affordability rate in the country, crime, taxes, energy crisis, no water in the fire hydrants when a wildfire takes place. And that's just to start off the top of my head. We got people in California. The man was recalled not once, but twice. They tried to recall him as the governor. And I'm not saying that to insult Gavin Newsom. I understand that he deserves our respect, and I'm not here for that. Right. I'm simply making the point. You have the governor of California in front of your face for nearly 2 hours, and they have millions of people in the state that have a real problem with how he's governing. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting in front of you. And we're hearing story about how Stephen Jackson had his own day and how they rock with him. And they laughing and when things get serious, it's because he's insulting Trump. But you got your own record that's questionable. And you're sitting in front of him. Guess why that could happen?
Right.
Because you don't have a journalist background, meaning Matt. But that's not the expectation. I could have never gotten away with having him there not asking those questions.
But your brain is different though, Stephen A. And I think people know that and they understand that your voice is different. You are a person that got it out the mud. And I've used this analogy before. My heroes have spoke down on me, how I took it. It may not have been their intent. I received it where I have clips, or I can't find clips of Stephen A. saying something questionable about Cam, but that was you covering me as an athlete. I took it personal. There was times where I took what Shannon Sharp, who a person I'm very fond of and have a lot of respect, have said, Cam, you are a random. Cool. Those things were said. Deion Sanders, Cam, okay. But on the flip side, you know what I'm going through, bro. And it was said to me, and even RC, and make no mistake about it, I have no ill intent or no bad feelings with RC. Everybody who I've named, I hold to a high standard, and at one point, something was said in regards to me. I say all that to say, when you start to mention the weight of your voice, not just yours, but everybody that has the cultural badge, and when I mean culture, I mean black people specifically, right? They feel a way when certain things are handled not how we expect or they expect it to be. Is that unrealistic sometimes?
It is unrealistic sometimes, but it's also predictable because that's what we do. That's what we do as black people. you know, and I get it. But first things first, you just brought up an example. I'm gonna tell you why those are bad examples. You brought up what they said about you, what we said about you. You have every right. I didn't say anything about Matt Barnes. I was talking about LeBron. What you got to do with LeBron? I was talking about Memphis. What you got to do with Memphis? See, what I'm saying is that if I said something about them directly, it makes sense. You're gonna go on social media, and again, we over it. I'm good. Matt came out with the second video. I appreciate it. I respect it. That's the Matt I know and love. I got you. I hear where you were coming from. But my point is that you decided to go on social media about something that had nothing to do with you and to attack a cat that you've rocked with. And you've been cool, and you've admitted publicly, I rock with him. Stephen A. looked out. Damn, I deserve that? So I watch all the smoke. Every damn video, every damn episode they did I approve of. Every damn episode and everything they say I agree with, I like. Of course not. But that's their shit. That doesn't mean that I sit up there and I say, I'm gonna go on social media and a cat that I rock with, the cat that I've talked about doing business with, a cat that I got mad love for, I'm gonna just sit up there and make a video and talk about you. And by the way, the position that you took was what a lot of people are saying because of politics. And I'm going like this, really, y'all? Really? See, people think that this last year has been hard for me. And it has been. It's been one of the hardest years of my life. But it's not for the reasons people think. It's the betrayal. That is one thing I don't get over very easy. It doesn't matter to me. Like I told you before, you called me, we talked with. Good. Even before then I wasn't mad because I never felt betrayed. I just felt that y'all could have done a better job of asking them questions about me. That's it. But I never felt betrayed. But when I feel betrayed, bro,
who did it?
I said what?
Who did it?
No, I'm just saying.
But
I'm saying like, bro, it could be women, it could be some of my boys. I've had people literally say, black people don't fuck with you. You've betrayed your race. We don't want to fuck with you. Cam, those people can never come back in my life. I'm gonna look in that camera. They can go to hell. They can never come back. Because to know me, you know that cut deep. I almost lost my career because I look out. I cannot count the amount of times I've put my ass on the line for us. Think about it. The archives are there. Go back to the columns of the Philadelphia Inquirer. Go back to me on Fox Sports on the Best Damn Sports Show. Go back to me on ESPN and look at the shit that I've done and the issues that I've been willing to tackle and the sacrifices. I could have shut up and got paid. Remember, everybody want to look at this contract. That contract was signed in 2025. I've been in the business since 1993. I've been repeatedly underpaid. Repeatedly, I had challenges. I got fired, dog. Fired. People look at me and they say, "Oh, he tight with the damn Sean Hannity." Sean Hannity and I being tight ain't got nothing to do with politics. It got everything to do with the fact that when everybody else had turned their back on me, that motherfucker went to war. And it's like, no, that's my man. He ain't that person. What you talk about? Talk about the industry. You understand? Now, you got a lot of people that I sit up there and, oh, Stephen A. Black people.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Damn, it's fucked up. What happened to you? Oh, that's bad. They got their own platforms, and when it's time for them to speak up, it's crickets. But, see, cats get brave now that it's popular, but I was doing it when it wasn't popular. And it's like the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. People was giving me hits for that. Let's go back to that for a second, because I'm just using this as nuggets of examples to highlight that. So you're Colin Kaepernick. I'm not going to bring up the fact that you started making noise after you were a reserve. It was never when you were a starter. I'll ignore that fact. What I'll do instead is say, hey, you're reserve, playing behind Blaine Gabbert. You remember him.
Came in together.
Okay, yeah. Okay, remember that? And you decide that you want to take a knee. Who the hell is going to refute or argue with that? You taking a knee on behalf of us? Police brutality going on in the streets of America? Thank you. But there's a caveat with all of that. This is National Football League. All of them owners, ain't none of them black. It's a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. And they gonna make sure you know they ain't comfortable with that. So now we got to have a decision. How important is your voice in terms of its utilization? Is it with you wearing an NFL uniform? Or is it with you out on your own? We got to deduce what level of importance that is. Because remember, as you talk to me and you've gotten to know me, how many times do you say to me, damn, Stephen, are you strategic? No, sure. I'm maneuvering through the terrain because we live in a society and work in an industry where that's something that happens. Every day, Rashawn talks to me, everything is about strategy. Yeah. Everything is about strategy. I'm the one that debunks that. Bump that, I don't care, I'm gonna do this. I go to Colin Kaepernick, not to him directly. His lady wants to talk to me, wants me to help him. She's just looking for a tryout. Just a tryout. Because we all know, not only did I say he was blackballed, I didn't say he was blackballed in my cocoon surrounded by a bunch of us. I went on national television, said it. I didn't say it just on ESPN. I said it on Good Morning America. I said it on Hannity on Fox News. I said it on MSNBC. I said it on a damn Situation Room on CNN. My black ass in mainstream media on national television telling the world he's been blackballed, okay? Jay-Z works in concert with Roger Goodell. They get a tryout. These folks want one team, but no team wanted to step up because they said they were fearful that if they didn't want him, he would accuse them of racism. Because remember, he had already filed a lawsuit against him. And then on top of it all, he had settled the lawsuit. And how many people get to sue an industry and then come back and get a job in the same industry?
Him and Eric.
It just don't happen, right? But they arranged a workout. So they didn't want that responsibility placed on one team. So the NFL, for the first time in its history, conducted its own workout and drew up its own waiver. He don't want to sign it. He felt that they were playing games, that the language was different. Y'all talking about, not you, but people talking about it. Who's on the phone with the general counsel for the NFL? That would be me. It's not a week or 2 weeks early or whatever. It's that morning, 9 a.m. I said, here's the waiver. This is what they said. General counsel tells me, quote us. Of course it's a different waiver because we've never conducted an individual workout. And he just sued us. Why wouldn't we get him to sign a waiver, Stephen A., saying that you can't come at us with such claims if we're going to give you this tryout? Yeah. In return, we're going to make all of these conditions ideal for you. We're going to give you access to the tapes. You can have the tapes and everything like that. You can have your own individual workout. Oh, Cam, did I leave this out? 26 teams showed up. 26. 18 of them sent black people. 18 of them. They said, we don't want to get blamed for nothing. Go ahead. Couple hours before the workout, he decided he's going to work at an hour and 20 minutes away at a high school field. Y'all remember this story. So what I said was, I'm closing the story. Mm-hmm. So what did I say? What did I say? I said, it's over. It was nice seeing him. He will never play in the NFL again. People in an uproar, blah, blah, blah. How many years ago was that? 5, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
No, sir.
See him anyway? Have you seen him wearing a uniform? Have you seen him on an NFL field? Have you seen him on an NFL practice field? So in other words, I cover. This is the information. You've been at ESPN. You've been in a television setting. How much access do I have to information?
Yeah, a lot.
How about whether it's the Adam Schefters, it's the Mel Kiper Jr.'s, it's the Sham Sharani or whatever. You see these people roaming around?
Yes, sir.
So if I don't get the information myself, do I not have access to the people who do?
Yeah.
I'm telling people. And folks want to sit up there and look at me like, the messenger needs to be killed. I'm like, no. You can say that if it's you because you're doing this voluntarily. That's my job.
But the last thing because
Sure.
we got a lot to cover
Okay.
in a short span, and I want to be respectful of your time.
It ain't short. Don't worry about my time. I'm here.
Say less.
Ain't nobody going nowhere. I'm right. I'm
Say
here.
less. The thing that I quote from Matt Barnes was the old Stephen A. Smith, if he were to know the new Stephen A. Smith, the old Stephen A. Smith would be disappointed.
Cool. And what did I say? I said, that's bullshit. That's not true. The old Stephen A. Smith and the new Stephen A. Smith is the same Stephen A. Smith. I ain't changed. They changed. And the fact of the matter is that there's an expectation that's been levied on my shoulders. And I remember I had this argument with one of my boys. Don't come to me trying to put new expectations on me because I finally got the paper that validates the work that I've done for decades. I earned this shit. Nobody give this to me. I worked my ass off. Nobody can question that. Nobody can question my work ethic and what I accomplished and the muck and mire that I had to endure to climb this ladder and get to where I got. We're sitting up here as black people constantly talking about how we want our just due and we want what we've earned and we want what we deserve. And then a brother come along and do it and now you want to sit up there and place new expectations because I'm the one that made it. Fuck that. That's not right. I'm doing what I've always done. I didn't change. So my point is that, listen, Allen Iverson, Matt Barnes brought up Allen Iverson. Well, did you bring up the fact that me and Allen Iverson went 8 months without talking? Because Allen Iverson was upset at what I had to write about him? He didn't bring that up. He wasn't always happy with what I had to say. No athlete is always happy with what I have to say. I don't want enemies, bro. Life's too short. But I'm not here to be friends. It would be nice if I could be friends and I could be cool with every athlete that I cover. That ain't what the hell I'm here for. I'm a journalist. I got my boys. I got my peeps. I got my family. I don't need new friends. If I get them, that's cool. God has blessed me with that. That's fine. But if I don't have new friends, I'll get over it. I got enough. The point is that I'm here to do a job. And let me tell you this. This is the hard part about stomaching that. I can't tell you how much more successful I would have been. How much more money I'd have. How much more cachet I'd have. If I sat there and actually did do what these people think I do. You know how many stories I've had killed? You know how many times I've been in a newsroom fighting to make sure they don't disseminate information out there about y'all as athletes? How many times have I said publicly, this is the thing that absolutely befuddles me. Where we come from, the streets of America, no matter where it is the hood. We know what it's like to starve. We know what it's like to struggle. We know what it's like to not be affluent and to be deprived of equitable circumstances that other people may have had the luxury of experiencing as a different race and stuff like that. We've talked about and lamented the fact that we see people in our own community that will kill folks for $500, for $1,000. We've gone through all of this stuff throughout our lives. How much money could I have made if I sold out? How much money could I make? What status would I have? I just got paid. What did I say? When Pat McAfee got his contract, nobody stood up and celebrated more than me. Because I knew a precedent needed to be set in order for me to get mine. Had Pat McAfee not got his money, I wouldn't have got mine. It was him that enabled me to get it because I understood how the system worked. I understood, I still understand. And white folks get mad at me about this all the time. Oh well, when a white folk catch a cold, black folks catch pneumonia. The system is rigged where it is always worse for us. I've been saying that for decades. Decades. I ain't been proven to be a liar yet. We don't get it first. So I knew, okay, this is how the game is played. This is the system. Let me do my thing. This is April. Knock on wood, it could be over tomorrow. First Take has been the #1 sports morning show for 14 consecutive years. It started when I arrived in April of 2012. We are now in April of 2026. When Skip brought me there, and he deserves a lot of credit because a lot of people that are black, that have had these platforms, Skip was the one that initiated that, not me. It was Skip. Skip deserves the credit for that. And I will always love him and appreciate him for that. But when he and I started, we catapulted to #1 in a month. And we've been there ever since.
Now, you have mentioned Pat McAfee.
Yes, sir.
Is there any tension between you two?
No.
Right?
We had a disagreement once over a project, and then he realized it wasn't me, it was somebody else, and that was the end of it. We don't have any, I got a lot of respect and a lot of love for Pat McAfee and what he's done for the network, but I respect his independence more so than anything. And if Pat McAfee needed me for his show, he knows all he got to do is call, and I'll be happy to come on.
Did you feel a certain type of way that LeBron went on Pat McAfee's show?
Yeah, but it wasn't because he went on Pat McAfee's show. It was because he went on there to insult me. LeBron don't do that. LeBron don't do that.
But do you see why, though? Because the timeline of everything, this is something that I actually, I mean, it was in the zeitgeist. I mean, it'd be hard not to understand being a sports fan.
Right.
That was during the time where, okay, the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn happened. Then
No. With me?
Was that before or after?
No. The 7 p.m. with Brooklyn was like damn near a year later. Oh, yeah. I mean, months later, rather. It was months later.
So
absolutely.
So that happened first?
That happened first, yes.
So did that ignite the reaction?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Contrary to popular belief, I might react to what somebody says or does as it relates to me or the industry, but it truly isn't personal. I'm just like, yo, I feel a certain way about this particular subject. It's never about the person until that day. That day, when that man went on Pat McAfee, just to disrespect me, that forever changed. All the people that you see here with me tonight, along with countless other people, they all tried to talk me out of it, every one of them. Fuck that. It don't matter. I didn't give a damn what anybody said, and I still don't. And I meant what I said. Every word you see, when I came at it, it was like, yo,
Was it not personal?
Oh, it was. That was personal.
Okay.
Because it was like, no, you didn't do that shit. You gonna go on national television just to disrespect me over something that I don't believe I did. To roll up on me courtside at a game and to roll up on me like that, that was bad enough. But then to go on the show that comes on after me, to fly into Indy, to drive damn near an hour to the studio, to sit in there for a couple of hours just to talk shit about me. Nah, bro. No, that was not going to stand. And be very, very clear. Nobody at ESPN liked it. They didn't want that. My exact words were, move out the way. I don't want to hear it. I'm not listening to anybody. This is mine. Right here. His ass is mine. I'm not having that because it was unnecessary, it was unfair, and I have facts to back it up. I'm fine now because time heals all wounds. 58 years old. Life is kind of good. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Right. And he's too important to the game for me to allow whatever animus we feel towards one another to get in the way of my professionalism. And then, in the aftermath of that, as time went on, I started thinking about, man, fuck Stephen A. Don't think about me. He's too important to the culture. He's too important to so many people that he's done so much for. I'm not gonna focus on me, I'm gonna focus. But in that moment, Bronny was in high school. I got a crib in LA, right down the road. I never went to watch him because I thought it would be unfair to LeBron James and his family if I walked into a gym to watch Bronny, because I knew that if I walked into the gym, that everybody would be asking me, what do you see? And I knew I would have had to tell the truth, whatever that truth was based on what I saw.
But some would say that actions from LeBron and team.
And team? What team?
Like his team.
Okay.
Like the support system.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
That everything was agitated because of your report of Bronny, which makes it personal for him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody were to attack your daughters. Right?
That would be a problem.
So when he, and I don't know what was said when I see videos, I see pictures of when he came to you at the game, and then even there were discussions during the Pat McAfee show about Bronny. That's him as a father, though.
Here's what the deal is. I'm gonna give you the whole lowdown one more time. All right? Much against the interest of my publicist and all, I don't care. Okay? I'm just gonna give it to you and tell you the truth. Bronny was in high school. I never covered him. Bronny goes to USC. I say nothing. He develops the heart ailment. I'm on national TV. God bless him and his family. I hope he's okay. Nothing else matters. Bronny declares for the draft. Congratulations, go for it. Shit, why should he go to the G League or whatever? Oh, Stephen A., but you know, that's his son. I mean, he ain't earning his way. Bump that. With what LeBron has done for the league, I don't care. We all support it. Let him get drafted by the Lakers. He comes into the NBA. We say nothing. Okay? Opening night. The Griffeys, junior and senior, baseball. They're in attendance because it's a father-son thing. Stephen A. Smith is sitting behind courtside on the baseline at the Lakers game, standing up applauding. It's a great, great moment. My thinking was, now you're gonna be in the G League, working on your skills to get yourself ready. That's not what happened. Cool. I never opened my mouth until he was in the G League one night. And then the next night, he in the game in the first quarter, guarding Tyrese Maxey. And I said, well, wait a minute. Now we got a problem. Because he ain't ready for that. And you as his dad, being on the Mount Rushmore of basketball, who is a basketball savant, one of the most brilliant minds we've ever seen in the game of basketball, knows this better than us. So when you put him in that position, now you're doing two things. Number one.
But do you not know, can you agree that it's still a sensitive topic?
Yes, but what I'm saying is, here's the sensitive part that he's missing. You're on a public platform and essentially you're asking us not to do our job.
Okay.
Because we got to cover him now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so because we got to cover him, all right?
No matter what the relationship is.
No matter what we got to cover him.
Okay.
So it's like you're essentially asking us not to do our job. Now you deserve a lot if you LeBron. You don't deserve that. You don't deserve us to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to our responsibilities as professional reporters covering the sport. You don't do that. So what I was saying is, when I said, as a father, which is what got Draymond Green in an uproar and other people, I wasn't talking about literally, you just as far. I'm like, it's you. You know the attention you automatically are going to bring to him. So to combine that with putting him in that predicament, you're asking us not to cover the sport. That's pushing it. So when I was talking about as a father, I wasn't talking about Bronny. I was like, forget him. He's going to be all right. I believe he's going to be a good NBA player someday. I really believe in Bronny. I think he's got potential. But I was saying to LeBron, you know better because you know what we got to do. Why are you doing that? That's what I meant when I said as a father. If you have a problem, as I said, and this is why Rich Paul and I don't particularly speak much or anything like that, but I always have respect for Rich Paul. And this typifies why. He waited a couple of days after the whole me and LeBron thing, and he called me. And I asked Rich Paul, I said to him, my exact words to him was, just give me grace on this.
This is you talking to
This is me talking to Rich Paul. Did I ever dog Bronny? He said, no, you did not. I said, one more question. If you had called me and said to me, LeBron is pissed off. LeBron want to see you. What would I have done?
Made yourself
He said, you'd have been on the next flight to LA. I said, thank you. Because see, that's my reputation. Now see, people can chirp and they can talk and all this stuff. Yo, bro, I've been at this for over 32 years. What you're not gonna find, no matter where you look, is somebody saying I betrayed them. And they ain't gonna tell you I attack families and stuff like that. I would never do that in a million years. I wasn't paying attention to Bronny in a literal sense. I was saying, you are on the Mount Rushmore. I got you as the second greatest player to have ever lived. This famous footage of him talking about and literally giving you the last 3 minutes of a game where he's dissecting and highlighting every single play that took place. That's what a savant LeBron is with basketball. So I'm like, you must know you can't put him in that position in front of us like that. But a lot of people can't say that. I can. So I did. And that was it. My point is that when he rolled up courtside, I was like, yo, bro, we can meet in the back. Fuck that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yo, I'm sitting courtside with Larry David for Curb Your Enthusiasm, you know? And I'm like, and Ari Emanuel, the owner of William Morris Endeavor. I'm like, I'm sitting courtside with them. Brother rolled up courtside during timeout in the third quarter.
So you felt disrespected?
Well, not just disrespected, but defenseless. Because what I'm going to do, Cam?
What can you do?
It's courtside in the third quarter of a game, a nationally televised game. And by the way, it's on the night it was announced, my new contract. That night. That day, the news came out that I had signed a new deal. That night is when he did that. So my point is, it's all of those emotions. And then you couple that by going on ESPN. Well, yo, it's no disrespect to anybody, but I'm the top dog at ESPN. You think you gonna come on the network where I work and disrespect me and I'm gonna sit there muted? Hell no. That was not going to happen. And so because of that, I said, now the gloves come off. We've been dancing around this all of these years. We don't like each other. Now I'm over that now. I don't feel the animosity towards him that I once felt.
Have you since then talked to him?
No.
Is there a world where obviously you are the face of sports media, domestically, and I can't speak globally, but I will go as far as to say the top dog in that regard. Is there a world where you and LeBron are able to sit down, whether on camera or off camera?
I'm a grown-ass man. If LeBron wanted to talk to me, I would talk to him.
Okay, now let's flip it.
I just know.
Do you want to talk to LeBron?
And I don't care. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me whether we do or don't. It doesn't matter because it has no effect and impact on my career. And the reason why that's important for you to understand is because it's time that we stop playing games when it comes to this industry. I do not need him any more than he needs me. I'm good. I'm not some cub reporter. I'm not some beat writer. I'm not some cat that ain't making no paper, and I haven't established myself in this business and conjure a level of respect that I have. I know who I'm on the phone with every day. I know who the people that I talk to. I know the journalistic credentials that I have built spanning 32 plus years. Mm-hmm. You can say whatever you want. You can't deny what I have done, what I have accomplished. And so my point is that I don't need him any more than he needs me. And what you have to understand, and I'm sure you'll agree with this, as a former star athlete, a lot of people hate that reality. They hate the fact that there's a journalist, a reporter, a commentator, a pundit out there that don't need them. How often do you hear me use the line? I get paid to talk about you. I don't get paid to talk to you.
Yeah, well, where I sit.
Right.
And I think highly of you. I think highly of LeBron, Mav, Rich, the whole game.
So do I.
So that's where I'm like, I'm not gonna condone y'all not being on good terms because
we don't have to be on good terms, bro.
But it makes the narrative, dare I say, it'd be better for our people.
Let me tell you the kind of man I am. LeBron and I don't ever have to speak in life again. He could pick up the phone and call me and say, man, I need this for these kids in Akron. Where you need me? Man, I got to do some shit for these kids in South Central LA or whatever. Or I got to do some shit for some kids in New York. Done. This notion that all of us got to sing Kumbaya and hug one another, that ain't reality. Mm-hmm. We're men. You got your life, I got mine. My point is, it's a bigger play. One of the things that bothered me when the whole racial riot situation was going on, I saw cats doing documentaries and docuseries and all of this other stuff, and I'm inviting them on First Take. And you don't want to come because you mad because I talked about how you shot 2 for 20. You are trying to have a docuseries and create content to help our community. If you Russell Westbrook, you was doing something on the Tulsa riots, Black Wall Street, and how it was burnt to the ground and how black people were thriving on our own. You know what? We didn't need government assistance. We weren't asking for government handouts. We weren't doing. We were showing we are entrepreneurs. We're an entrepreneurial spirit. We know how to build. We know how to create. We always have. You understand? We were showing this stuff religiously. It could be that, or it could be something that Jaylen Brown or Trey Young. I'm just throwing names out there, just hypothetically speaking. They could be doing something, right? But you mad because I said you shot 2 for 20 and you played like shit. And that's why you don't want to come on the air to promote something that's going to help your cause in the community. That's childish shit. That's children. I'm talking about up here. That don't make any sense.
Are you speaking about somebody specifically?
No, I'm speaking about several cats. I'm not going to say their names, but several. Because I'm looking at it, I'm literally looking to give you the platform to promote what you're doing on behalf of us. Yeah. And you upset because I hurt your feelings because you went out there and you hurt your own feelings by the way you played. Cam Newton, I saw Cam Newton sitting up there talking about, yo, man, I hated Stephen A. when I played. And I'm sitting there laughing, right? And here's why I'm laughing. Because Cam has been in a couple of dicey situations. We had to talk about it as reporters, but that was there. It was nothing major. The only thing that I consistently said about Cam is, I don't think you're an accurate thrower. That's it. I know he can run over people, but damn, how long that gonna last? Those are men out there with mortgages to pay and children to feed. How he gonna just be running over people all the damn time? That's what I said. And I'm looking at it, that's why Cam hated me? Mm-hmm. Makes sense to me because people on the pro level have hated me for less. I had Allen Iverson, when we didn't talk, I never forget this as long as I live. And he know, because I love me some AI. That's my little brother right there. That's my dog. One of the times he wasn't speaking to me, Allen Iverson went through a 10-game stretch where he was shooting like 18% from the field. I mean, he couldn't buy a basket. I might be exaggerating. It might have been like 20, 21%. I think it was like 18, but I don't remember. It was over 20 years ago. It was bad. So I said, damn, It's really, really bad right now. He can't hit Broad Street if it was empty. That's what I said. He don't say nothing. Couple of days later, the media. Now, mind you, remember, Matt Barnes and all of them said they rock with me because AI rocked with me. AI and I were like this. The media continued to surround his locker. And they talking to him. And this was his quote. Well, you know, it's like, it's really, really, it's been rough, you know, because, you know, I work hard and I play every game like it's my last, and I go out there and I put my life on the line for this team, and certain people in the media, you know, just turn their back on you and they dog you and shit like that. And I'm sitting like with a tape recorder, other reporters are around, and I'm like, who the fuck did that to him? I was like, who he talking about? I'm like, who fucked with him like that? I had no clue. And I turn around and I look, and there's nobody behind me. Everybody's around. He was talking about me. I like, what? I like, you talking to me? Because you go through a shooting slump, and that's what I said? That warranted all of that? And I said, okay, that hurt your feelings? Let me show you what I could have done, right? And so I went back to the newspaper, and I said, clear 1,000.
Watch out.
I said, clear 1,000 words for me. It's 1,000 words. He's lucky it was a first take. This is writing. Lucky it was a first take. It would have been worse. And I wrote dissecting where he shot from, what he was missing, who was guarding him. I'm like, yeah, it's awful, right? Man, and it was from that point, that we didn't speak for 8 months because he was that pissed at me. And his boy Ra, who he loved dearly, that got murdered. Ra was the one that got us back together. Ra said, can't have this. Can't have this. Nah, Stephen A. You a good brother, man. You can't be, no. And he was like, yo, I need you to meet. Palmer's was the name of the club. Spring Garden, like 15th Street, Spring Garden, Philly. Not maybe 12th Street, but Spring Garden. I need you there. It's AI, so you know what that means, right? It's like 2:30 in the morning. This ain't no 5 o'clock shit. I got to be out there 2:30. There was no juvie with me. I was by my damn self. Rolled up in there with AI and his crew. And Rob brought me, y'all need to put it in like that. I said, it is squashed. You gotta let me do my job, dog. I ain't say nothing about this, that, and the third. I was talking about your game and your performance. When you perform great, I'll say so. When you perform badly, I'll say so, because that's what you're doing in a public stratosphere. That's the game. And so his boy got us back together. What I'm saying to you is, those cats knew what I had to do. My man Shabazz, we go back. Shabazz and I, this is how we met. Shabazz comes up there, he's laughing already. Shabazz roll up on me, it's a true story. Tim Thomas is playing for the 76ers. Started at Villanova, played in NBA. I love Tim, good people. He was playing like shit. And I said so. Shabazz one of those. He one of the real ones. He rolled up on me. Yo, man, introduced himself. Wouldn't shake my hand. I don't like the way you fucking with my man. You talking about him like that for? I said, hold up. We were on a boat in Philly. We were on a boat. He could have threw me overboard. The motherfuckers he was with, he could have threw me right overboard. Nobody would have found me. My body would have floated up eventually. He could have threw me right over. I'm by myself. He says, you talking about my man like that? And I said, well, tell your man to stop playing like that. Did I lie? He looked at all his boys. That's why I fuck with him. He was testing me. Because my point to you is, all this shit now, Stephen A., you know, making a little paper. Stephen A. dressed a little nice, suited down at time for Stephen A. driving the Range or whatever. Stephen A. this. Nah, before all of that, what was I? That is how I built my career. In other words, what I'm saying is, I've never hid. I've always been there. I've always been me. Everybody else changed as they saw me climb. You want to act like I'm on First Take and that's how I got my name. Nah, I got my name because I was at the Philadelphia Inquirer and the New York Daily News before that. I got my name because I was at CNN-SI. I never even heard of that. CNN-SI, CNN/Sports Illustrated, had their own sports department. I was the one that helped originate that, covering NBA on Sunday mornings. Went from there to Fox Sports. Best damn sports show wanted me. I didn't want to do that, so they hired John Sally. I did the National Sports Desk, best damn sports show. Me and my man Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight, he was the host. Went from there to ESPN. Everybody acted like First Take came along, and that's how I made my bones. Do your homework. I've been doing this shit, and I ain't changed. Go back and look at my columns. They want to tease. I was on the basketball team and wrote that the coach needed to retire. On the team. On the team. Now, mind you, it was because he had health issues. Okay. He had health issues. He knew it. They didn't know. And they didn't know that I talked to him before I wrote the article. But I wrote the article out of love because I wanted him to retire because I thought he was going to die on the bench. That's what was going on. And so what happened is I said, man, you got to retire. He said, man, shut the fuck up. You understand what I'm saying? I said, I'm going to write it. He said, go ahead, fuck you, man. Go ahead and write it. And I wrote it for the school newspaper on my coach that I was playing for. That gave me a scholarship. And everybody acted like this is new. I've been me. I've been me. Y'all changed. I've been me. And I'm going to stay me. It ain't changing, bro. When I see people, and that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about betrayal. You in my life, I got love for you, we tight, and you gonna say shit like I betrayed the black community? They talking about me with this politics shit. I can show you a speech that I gave in 2007, right before Obama took office. In 2010 at Vanderbilt University. I said, listen to this quote. Politics. I wish for one election that every black person would vote Republican. They're like, what? How can he say that? I said, it's simple. Since 1964, the black folks, we have been giving our vote to the Democratic Party at an exorbitant rate. Therefore, they know they got our vote. And they don't have to cater to us as much as we need them to. The Republicans know they'll never get our vote, so they don't give a damn about us. And as a result, we're the only community in America devoid of representation, which is why we're considered disenfranchised. I'm tired of that. What I want is to put ourselves as a community in a position where both parties have to work to get our vote.
Can I ask you this? Do you think you covering politics like you cover politics, in the words of your mans, is that good for business, your business?
It has the potential not to be. We'll have to see. So far it is. I think I'm doing pretty good. So far it is, but it has the potential not to be. But here's the point. Cam, if I thought like that, I'd never be here. There's plenty of decisions over the years I could have made that would have been good for business. But I had the courage to tackle the issues that I felt passionate enough to attack. That's what makes me me.
Now, I like where you at. Because similar to you covering politics, it's almost similar for what does an athlete have the credentials to speak about other sports? For the record, why are you even speaking about politics? Like, what goes into the thought of like why from all your shows, all your platforms, you have a show that's dedicated to politics?
Okay. So before I answer that question, let me close what I was saying by saying this. I said that not to discourage people to vote for Democrats or anything like that. What I'm saying is, if Cam wanted to buy this property, do you walk in, I'll give it to you, how much you want? Or do you investigate and find different spots and compare prices and see what better deal you're gonna get? Same thing if you're buying a car, same thing if you're buying a house. You're saying flatter me. Flatter me. What I'm saying I'm saying I said it back then. Flatter us. Stop thinking that you get to assume that you have to earn our vote. That's it. That's all I'm saying. And that's what I stand on to this very day. Now back to your point. When you sit up there and you talk about politics and stuff like that, Cam, I'm a teenager growing up in Hollis, Queens. At 11 o'clock at night, The Odd Couple came on, that former comedy show. Clean, Felix Unger and Oscar Madison. The Honeymooners came on at 11:30. And at around 11:45 or so, midway through The Honeymooners, Ted Koppel for News Nightline would come on ABC. Do you know I wouldn't go to sleep until I watched Ted Koppel? Do you know that I would go home every night and watch Peter Jennings, ABC World News Tonight? Do you know that on Sunday mornings I would watch Meet the Press with Tim Russert? And I would watch the political shows? I've always been fascinated by politics. The Super Bowl, to me, outside of the Super Bowl, there is nothing that I love more than presidential debates. I'm talking about me getting, in my case, cheese doodles, not popcorn, okay? I'm talking, in my case, I'm talking about the cheese doodles, the little snacks, and I'm watching the debate. That's how I always knew I would be a good debater. Because I used to do this, I used to watch this stuff religiously growing up. Even when we talk about politics now, bro, I'm not giving up my money. You got to give up your money according to FCC equal time rules in order for you to run for the presidency of the United States. You got to give up your money. I work too hard for my paper. I ain't giving that up.
So are you running for
I'm not. I am not running. I am not running because I ain't giving up my paper. They said I had to give up my paper. It ain't happening. But that's not the only reason. As I sit up there and I purview the landscape and I think about the opportunities that I have available, I'm like, wait a minute. My show on POTUS, SiriusXM POTUS Radio, has exploded. My YouTube platform continues to grow. My SiriusXM show, sports and politics, is growing. First Take is still #1. Why the hell would I do it? I'm making more noise. Look at the Capitol Hill. They got 535 representatives, 435 in Congress, 100 in the Senate. They can't get anything right. They can't get together for nothing, for a damn cup of coffee half the time, okay? The president doing what he want to do, but it's via executive orders, only to get sued and then have to turn around and renege on what he promised because he can't get shit done. You got all of this stuff going on. Why would I give up my money and my quality of life for that? I'm not doing that, but what I'm saying to you is this. Here's the point that I'm making relevant to your question.
Okay.
Cam, this is the part that make me feel at times like I'm willing to give up the money. There is nothing I want more than to be on that debate stage against those presidential candidates. When I tell you what I salivate over, I'm thinking about what these politicians have done to mess up our country, to have us feeling more divided than ever before. And then you combine that with how some, not most, not all, because everywhere I go throughout the streets of America, black folks don't show me nothing but love. I don't know what the fuck these people talking about. You know, black people, it's like, you know, he ain't gonna get invited to the barbecue. First of all, I think I can afford my own barbecue. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, and most importantly, if I had my own barbecue, my peeps are gonna be there. We gonna have a barbecue. We gonna hang out. We good. So I don't need that. But thirdly, and most importantly, I don't know when we won't get over the fact that we don't get to define each other's blackness. We're not qualified to do that. We're not one monolithic group. We come in all shapes, colors, and sizes. Okay? Now, all I ask is that people get it right. I am not a Republican. I am not somebody that is going to sit up there and ignore the resistance some in that party have shown to progression as it pertains to the black community. But I'm also not going to be foolish enough to sit up here and act like everything the Democrats have done is in our best interest. When you pushing for immigration or pushing for migrants to cross the border, and you don't give a damn that whether they're legal or illegal migrants, I know why. Because you're trying to dilute the potency of the black vote. Because you want to make sure that voting black, because the Hispanic community is growing by the numbers each and every single day, and they are now the dominant minority as opposed to us as black people, because we're only making up 13.6% of the population. You're basically trying to render us potentless. And I'm not down for that. I'm down for us. I'm not against anybody. I'm not against white people. I love my Hispanic brothers and sisters. I got Hispanic relatives. Some of my relatives are from Puerto Rico, okay? But the point is, I love us as a people, and I'm never gonna abandon us. My point is, you're not gonna sit up there and think that you get to define what is supposed to be important for our community when I got a clue about it, which is why I got on Matt Barnes. You wanna sit up there and you wanna talk that junk about me? What did I say? Invite me on All the Smoke. You, Steven Jackson, you wanna chirp? Invite me on. I dare you. I dare you. Let's talk issues. Don't give me emotion.
In sports or just?
I'm talking all of it. And everything. Because see, I got facts. You telling me what you feel. I got facts. Me as a sports reporter, me as a commentator, what I've done for the black community, the sacrifices that I've made, the battles that I've fought. I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that I got people hired or whatever. Does Cam get hired without me, though?
No.
See what I'm saying?
No.
There's a whole bunch of people that get it. Now, mind you, I didn't have to decide and vote. But had I voted no, it wouldn't have happened.
That's a fact.
You understand? When it's a Kerry champion or it's Jamel Hill or whatever, no, but respect for them. Jamel Hill is an outstanding reporter and a good person. I like Jamel. And guess what? Regardless of how Kerry tried to come at me or whatever, I got love for Kerry. I ain't got nothing negative to say about her, but I'm just making the point.
I got you.
This notion that I'm tired of folks allowing these people to talk. You know what a question that I would like people to ask? This is a question I would like people to ask. And I'm not talking about Whitlock, because I will never show up anywhere with his fat ass. That will never happen. That would never happen. You know, I consider him the devil. And I apologize to Chris Broussard, because Chris Broussard, that's my boy. He don't want me doing that, because he's a very religious man, and he says there's only one devil. Don't do that, Steve. Okay, fine. So I'm going to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Sean tells me that to be nice. I got it. I understand. So I won't say that. But he is a fat piece of shit, and I don't like him. All right? So then, having said all of that, all right, what I'm saying to you is, with that being said, outside of him, all of these people that come and sit down and talk amongst all of y'all, have you noticed they don't do that shit to my face? Have you noticed they haven't invited me on? Matt Barnes, and I shouldn't use him as an example because we good and I don't have anything against him, but I got so much respect for him, I mean it this way. If you talking, because he's a brilliant brother, right? And you know shit, right? Well, how come you didn't invite me on All the Smoke? You got a problem with my issues? What issues? How come you didn't do that? Look, listen, Draymond Green has complained about me in the past. You can invite me on. LeBron James, do you know that I told them years ago when Rich Paul and them rolled up and was like, we gonna get you on the shop. We gonna get you on the shop. And Rashawn gonna laugh about this one because it was him that insisted on it. I said, happily, under one condition, no edit. Me and you, live, every word aired. See, they talk. Whole bunch of people talk. But sitting in front of my face, as you know, is a little bit different. You pop that shit you want to, but when it come time, where it's not about your emotions, it's about the facts to support them, when you gonna back it up? Stacks, nothing but love for Stacks. Never uttered a negative word about that man. Never. Mm-hmm. You going on the air, I don't fuck with Stephen A. What? That was 3 months after you was giving me a big hug and we was hanging in the lobby in Indianapolis for All-Star Weekend. And then 3 months later, because somebody complains about some shit, because Gilly complains about Russell Westbrook and me saying he should have been suspended for a game, all of a sudden, Stacks don't mess with me. I'm going like this. You see the difference? Okay. See, when people come on your show, they go like this. Well, I just feel, and I think, and it just comes across as, notice, I'm giving you facts. Mm-hmm. I did everything but give you dates. See, people talk. Okay. But it's a lot different when you're sitting across from me, and I'm telling you right here on your show, how many people you know that are in my position, that have my platforms, that has the freedom to invite them on my show, mm-hmm. has not only invited them on my show, But I said to them, I'll come to yours. How many people do that?
Okay. Can I say something?
Sure.
Thank you. Do you know why? You're there, bro. You're at the top. Everybody, whether they want to admit it or not, Stephen Anthony Smith is the face of sports media. Not a lot of people can ever say that they're the face of what they do. LeBron can say, I'm the face of basketball. Floyd can say, I'm the face of boxing. Tom Brady can say, Patrick Mahomes, Cam Newton can't even say, I'm the face of football. Have never been the face of football. You are the face of sports media. So when they mention your name, it's an elevator approach. It goes straight to the top. Mentioning certain other people, it don't hit the same, bro, as you know this. Why throw pebbles at a cat when you could throw a stone at a lion?
I like that line. I'm going to steal it. I am. I like it.
Clock it! Like, bro, you are, like, this is real, bro. This is nothing facade. You are everything in our community. You're the American dream. Why? Can you ODing, bro? No. You didn't play basketball, but you got the same face recognition as some basketball players, if not more basketball players. You didn't play football. You got more recognition than most people because you have a way with words, you are relatable, and contrary to what a person may believe, when you say something, it hits. You gonna get on base.
Okay.
A lot of people can say something and it's just like, yeah, but yeah. So it's a lot of things that happen. And I sit back and even we've talked about this before. It's like, bro, why everybody coming at you? Because it wasn't Carrie Champion, know her, solid sister. Had the opportunity to talk to Jamel, solid sister.
Both of them are.
Solid.
Yeah.
But when old girl, who? Yes. When
Michelle Beadle.
Like, where is this coming from? Like, those are straight attacks that's like, okay, all right. Mm-hmm. Now, respectful. This is culture 101, all right? We can say anything about our kind, but you can't. That's just the unspoken word.
Okay.
When that happened, I'm like, okay, bro, what you doing to these people?
Okay.
What's happening?
All right.
Because they're once your colleagues.
Right.
They're still in that world of that.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So, when you talk about cats coming at me, yo, Cam, a lot of times they coming at me over conjecture, over shit I didn't even do. That's what's blowing me away. It's like, if I'm the dude that you just said I am, does that not warrant respect? I've been called the Black Howard Cosell. I idolized Howard Cosell growing up. Mm-hmm. And Bryant Gumbel, who I'm blessed and fortunate to have a relationship with. The late Ed Bradley from 60 Minutes. The Godfather Michael Wilbon and stuff like that. I'm bringing up those names because on my worst day, dog, I could never talk about them the way these folks have talked about me. And this is the thing, and I hesitated thinking about this conversation that I was going to have with you to say this. But it's time that I say something that's very, very important. You know, you get to a point in life where you are blessed and fortunate enough by God himself to be so successful, that people hurt themselves when they speak against you. Because I've been validated by power brokers in order to be in the position that I'm in. So when you're speaking against me with such disdain and disrespect, you may think at times that you're hurting me. But what you're doing, particularly if you're in this business, is hurting yourself because you're invalidating this selection. So hypothetically, I sit up there and you are your own talent. You have earned what you have earned. I helped you get in the door because, damn it, you deserved it. And I'm proud of you and I'm proud of what you have done. But if I support you and somebody's going on the air and they saying, Cam ain't shit. Cam don't know what he's talking about. He an idiot. He clueless. He this, he that. That ain't just about you. That's about the person who selected you, who big upped you, who spoke up for you. So now you got the attention of power brokers because you ran your damn mouth. That's why you hear me say, okay. Because what you don't know is that some of these people who have talked shit are the same people that called ESPN for a job. What do you think ESPN told them? I didn't tell ESPN to do anything. I didn't tell them to close the door. I didn't tell them to shut it off and don't do anything for them. I didn't have to. You insulted their selection. If you're a media columnist, for example, hypothetically, this hasn't happened, but if you're a media columnist, for example, and you talking shit about the Monday night team, but then you reach out to ESPN because you want to write for their .com site, what you think will happen? Because you dogged them. You dogged their selection. People don't realize that there's tentacles everywhere. And when you do stuff like that and you don't have the forward thinking, the mentality and the mindset to know that, guess what? You can't just be saying stuff about people and think that it's not going to come back to bite you. Yeah. You're misinformed. The industry's changing. It's not just about the advent of AI. It's the it's how stuff has been condensed. You see in Hollywood, the SAG-AFTRA strike, and ultimately that was resolved, and it's not as many jobs in Hollywood as it once was, not many opportunities. The media industry, newspapers are going by the wayside. Talk radio was once more potent. Now it could be again, but maybe it won't be. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. And I'm listening to people talk. And I'm going like this, so you just gonna talk shit about me. And you didn't do your homework. You understand? Remember when I was talking and when I went at Whitlock on my podcast after he appeared with you? Did you notice this little nugget that I threw out there? I said, maybe I should call Glenn back. He owns Blaze. He's an owner of Blaze Media. See, I know some of the owners. Did I do it? No. But I could have. So what I'm trying to say is that I sit up there and I smile because I'm like, you really don't know who you fucking with. They lucky I'm the way that I am. Do you know I'm the same guy that once worked for this woman in media? I'm not gonna say which publication. And I felt like she was racist, like I didn't like her. Editor of the newspaper comes to me and he says to me, what do you want me to do? Because I was that valuable. What do you want me to do, Stephen? What do you want? I said, absolutely not. I'm not that dude. I can deal with it because I don't want that on my soul. Now, I don't know what he was going to do, but he did ask. So I assume, maybe, who knows? That's not the first time that's happened for me in this industry. That's not the second time. It's not the 10th time. I've seen people who remain nameless that you've spoken to, chirping away. And executives come to me, you see what that person said? So what you gonna do about it, Stephen? What you want us to do about it, Stephen? It's like they don't understand. They don't get it. They're lucky I'm not that guy. Because I don't want to do it. I will never do that to another person. But it's like you will forever be connected with the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. I totally understand that there are talent is talent that rules the day. But considering all things are equal, if Cam Newton got a problem with somebody that's within the Carolina Panthers organization, is that not a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because you Cam, and it's Carolina Panthers. And the connection is the connection. See, we speak, but we don't really inhale and absorb what power truly is.
I'm following you.
And how you can fuck your own self up. And so I just leave it at that, and I let people be who they are.
Say less. I got you.
Yeah, I know you do.
Okay.
I know you do. That's why you left.
I swear it just hit me.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't know if anybody, it's been super serious, like more than I would like it. But I've been enjoying this interview.
Funky Friday.
It's definitely
It ain't got
fun.
to be fun, it's funky.
It's funky.
It's been funky.
But you can't spell funky without fun.
That's true.
Okay. Fun question.
Sure.
I saw a clip of your daughter, Samantha.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
She said she had a crush on Bryce.
I'm glad you think this shit is fun.
I would like to be a fly on the wall if either household invites the other party and household for dinner. I would like to be a fly on, like, stream that.
Can we change the subject?
What's so contentious about that, though?
Nah, I wouldn't.
Were you surprised?
Yeah, I was.
Was it real?
No, not anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore. They're kids. They change their mind with the wind. You see what I'm saying? Now it's Michael B. Jordan.
Okay. Moving right along. I also saw a clip where you told your nephew Josh, it's my dog, where you told your nephew Josh that women do not want a man who is broke. We recently had our sweetheart Marlo Hampton on from Real Housewives of Atlanta on Funky Friday a few weeks ago. And she basically said, in order to date a woman as a man, you got to pay up. Mm-hmm. The ability to protect personal interests has been a strategy that not a lot of people necessarily know about Stephen Anthony. But the people want to know. Mm-hmm. Are you dating?
Of course I am.
Do you spend money on women to gain an advantage?
No.
Okay.
I spend money, A, because I have it. B, because, see, I'm trying to be, it's Funky Friday, but it's not fun, it's serious because my mother was the greatest woman I've ever known, God rest her soul. Mm-hmm. And she was never treated well by my father. My mother was deprived of a lot. And all she ever asked me for is that I would never treat a woman the same way. So the same mentality that I have with my daughters is the same mentality that I've always maintained with any woman. If they hungry, it's because I'm starving. So there's no such thing as me going out on a date with a woman and you paying, we going Dutch. Mm. There's no such thing as, you know, you in my life and you struggling, but I'm thriving. No, you're gonna thrive, or we gonna struggle together.
Understood.
That's how I roll, because I literally see, I can still visualize the tears in my mother's eyes and the hardship that she endured, and I'm just not built like that. The mistake a woman would make, to use the example that you used with the girl that you mentioned, appreciation can never turn into expectation. With me, your days are numbered. Appreciation must never turn into expectations. It's mine to give, not yours to take. The minute you think you entitled, you ain't getting shit. Because you think you entitled. I don't like that. I want you to appreciate. You don't have to give what I give in terms of that level. But what you do have to do is show an appreciation that I'm extending myself to give more than I had to.
Is it difficult to date as Stephen A?
I wouldn't know. I don't worry about it.
What do you look for in a woman?
Intelligence, conversation. Well, let me scratch that. That's 2 and 3 on the list. Sex appeal starts. It starts there. If I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Yeah, it's just that. It's just the truth. We're not gonna sit here and lie. If I'm not attracted to you, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. Okay? I like what I like, and you need to possess those qualities. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. It's just that simple. Sex appeal. Figure it out. So that conversation, intellect, and domesticated. Because you see, I say that. I'm seriously. Somebody needs to say that. We need to stop this shit. This assault against masculinity, it's gonna end with this. I don't care. I can cook for myself. I don't want to. I want you to cook. I'll pay for the food. I'll take you out. I'll take you out every week. Yeah. We're doing it. But damn it, listen, my sister Carmen, one of the greatest cooks ever. Rashawn can throw down, by the way. He can cook too, right? I'm not him. See, he don't mind. He'll tell the wife, I got you, baby. I got this. Let me cook the chicken. Hell no, that ain't Steven. No. Only thing I'm doing for myself is getting up for some cereal. That's it. I'm not cooking. I don't feel like it. If I have to do that, why do I need you?
But
that's me. I'm just being that. I understand it comes across as chauvinistic, but I just finished saying, I'll take you out. I'll buy the food. I'll take care of whatever you need me to take care of. But damn it, I walk through my crib and you there, I better not smell pine sol. There's a problem. If I'm smelling pine sol, why are you there? Why? My sister has her own family. If my sister knows I'm coming, the minute I walk through the door, I'm smelling food. She knows that. She's my sister. You the woman in my life and I'm smelling pine sol, that ain't gonna last. I assure you that. Go get the brother that don't mind. I hope he can offer you what I'm offering, because it ain't gonna last. I'm just telling you my flavor.
Yeah.
That's me. Ain't gonna change.
So, does she work?
Yeah.
Steven.
Oh, yes. Why? Because I don't want you home all day long thinking about what I'm doing.
But
I need you preoccupied. I need you preoccupied with life. Do you? Listen, man, I don't require much. It doesn't matter. If you in my life, especially now, if you in my life, you good. You good. But I'm gonna get a hot meal now. I said a hot one. I ain't say no cold.
But
I said a hot one.
Fresh.
Minute I walk through the door, I didn't say it even got to be ready. I'm not being like that. I'm just saying I need to smell food.
These are your preferences.
My preferences. My preferences. And mind you, 4 older sisters. Mm-hmm. 4 older sisters. 3 of them could cook. The one that can't cook can clean her behind off. Got jobs, got careers. My sister's a principal. My other sister was a teacher. Mm-hmm. My other sister's a doctor. And my other sister was a mediator for the American Arbitration Association. All my sisters are accomplished. 3 of them cooked. And the one that couldn't cook, cleaned, so the other 3 didn't have to, and they cooked for her. That's what we had growing up. My mother sat up there and said like this, you shut up. You don't even know how to take care of yourself, let alone take care of a woman. When you can take care of a woman, then you can talk. So guess what I did? I became successful.
So you can take care.
And when I got successful, what was one of the first things I did? First thing I did, proudest moment of my life, was going to the PAL. My mother had a side job after she retired, and I told her, you ain't never working again. And I saw to that until the day she died, number 1. Number 2, I looked at Mom one day and I said, Mommy, remember when you told me to shut up? That I couldn't say anything because I can't even take care of myself, let alone a woman? I said, well, not only am I taking care of myself, I take care of you. So obviously, I can take care of a woman. Do I have the license to say something now? Very, very simple. I will always give more than I get, but I'm gonna get. Or else. And I ain't apologizing for that for a damn soul. I better not come home and smell pine sol all the time. You might have days where a day here, there, that happens. I'm not like that. But I better not come home on a regular. If you in my life and I smell pine sol, you won't be there. And I will be unapologetic about it. Food is important.
Understood.
And I want to eat. Period. You got these women walking around here, in this day and age, not most, not all, but some of them because of what society is preaching about you and you're independent. I ain't got to do this and I ain't got to do this for a man. Well, do they have one? Did you ask them that? Because every brother I know like to eat. I know you like to eat. I know the crew that everybody. I ain't met a man that want to eat leaves, or be like the woman that you go down there with. I just want a salad. No, we want food. You understand? That's what I want. That to me is not chauvinistic or anything like that. We got roles in my life. Another man might not care about that. I just told you my man Rashawn, he the one cooking. Good for him. That ain't Stephen A. Yo, bro, trust me. Let me tell you something right now. My boy Cardell will tell you. Cardell just screamed yes when I asked this. Have I broken up with women over food?
Boy, hard, boy.
Say yes. You know it's true.
And even for less.
Cardell's coming to be through what happened? Yo, bro, shit, refrigerator empty. Stove empty. What I need that for?
Stove cold.
Cold. Not me. No. I'll buy the food. I'll take you out. I'll do whatever you need me to do. But you know what? A vast majority of the time, I'm going to have a home-cooked meal. It's very important to me. Very.
Before we get out of here.
Yeah.
My last questions. And when I first came on ESPN, there was a person that was affiliated that's no longer there. Qerim.
Yeah.
Do you guys still communicate?
Rarely. We've spoken once or twice, but we still got a lot of love for each other. I miss her.
How did that unfold? And were you behind that?
I was not behind that. I had nothing to do with that. I love Molly. Molly is a really good friend. She's always been good to me. And she was on the show with me for 10 years. And, we were number one. And she had a lot to do with that.
Right.
Because a lot of people got a lot of love for her. Shay Cornett is the new host, who is outstanding.
Yes, she is.
She is thorough as hell, and she is outstanding. And I'm proud to have her. But I'm not just speaking about Molly's ability as a host. I'm not just speaking about the love and the affinity that the community had for her. She and I are friends. And there were times that, I wondered whether she wanted to be there or not. because she had a lot going on. And it just got to a point where, you know, she was just at odds in terms of what she wanted to do compared to what they wanted to do.
They
And
as in ESPN.
the bosses. I'm not at liberty to get into details. I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you that they have a right to make those decisions. But I will tell you that I miss her, that I got a lot of love for her, that she's very, very near and dear to me on a personal level. Because especially over the last few years, she's confided in me a lot, trusted me with a lot of things, and our friendship only grew. And I miss her. I miss her a lot. Yeah. And that's no shade at Shay, because I'm not even talking about work, because Shay is legit. Shay's the real deal. Yeah. But I'm getting to know Shay because I didn't know Shay. But I've known Molly now for over 11 years. And I'm glad that she's doing her thing with Zuffer Boxing. There's a lot more that she can do. She's been very, very public about her battles with endometriosis. And I hope that she's really, really healthy and all of that stuff. And we don't speak often because I'm a busy dude and I don't just pick up the phone and call people all the time and stuff like that. But she knows if she ever needs me for anything, I will be there because we're friends. And I got a lot of love for her. And I'm going to always have a lot of love for her. Yeah. And I miss her.
Well, don't look at the clock, bro. But we've been talking for a long time. I appreciate you, per usual. Holla at your boy. Hey, as we end things here at Funky Friday, when I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say, how the hell you get over there? You operating the camera?
Hell yeah.
No way.
I've been there.
It's my son. So
that's how it goes.
You can't, like, we down to the scraps if we trusting in China. Yeah, to the scraps. No.
We finished, Matra. We finished.
Yeah.
You did great, Pierre.
Thank you. As we end things, when I say all together, we're gonna say one love. When I say all together, we're gonna say what?
One love.
One hand out, one finger, one pinky, one thumb. All together, one love. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Anthony. Thank you, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Woo!